Alright guys, how are we doing? You join me on a Thursday evening. We're drifting on Sunday at Three Sisters, but I'm on a borrowed alternator, so today we're going to change my alternator. Just before we start though, it's just ticked over from being a year since my Nürburgring crash in the Integra, which I know is where a lot of my subscribers come from. And I know a lot of you are thinking, why are you working on the E36 so much, but ignore that. So yeah, it's been a year already since the Integra crash. If you've not seen the video, you can check it out, I'll put a link in the description. But yeah, I stuffed my Integra into the wall at about 100 miles per hour it was when I spun out. The fuel tank fell off the car, mid-corner, and yeah, it's got a bit leery. I mean, the car just pirouetted round and went into the wall. There was nothing I could do, and you know, I'm over it now. I was obviously a bit sad at the time, but yeah, I just thought it was worth mentioning, seeing as though that's kind of where the YouTube stuff all kicked off. I mean, I was doing vlogging then, but it was just kind of, you know, little bits and bats. You know, I think I had about 2,000 subscribers before I went to the ring, and you know, obviously, well, we're on now 24,000. So it's definitely kind of played in my favour, the crash, I guess. Anyway, it's an expensive way to buy subscribers. But anyway, let's get on to doing this alternator. Alright guys, good evening, and we're going to do some E36 work today. So I've noticed there's been a lot of other people working on my car in latest videos and stuff like that, and I kind of lost the touch of working on my own car. So today, I don't want people thinking I'm getting like Adam from 621, you know, letting other people do all the work on my car. So E36, you may remember I had an issue a couple of weeks ago with the alternator dying on it when we were out for a drive. While your eyes play games with mine. Right, the car's cut out, and I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere, man. Luckily John lent me his alternator just so we could do the drift day at Teesside last week, but we've got another drift day this weekend, and John's coming as well in his 328, so he needs the alternator back. So what I've done is, I mean, I had a look around and had a look for like some second-hand ones and stuff like that, but just couldn't find. I was just a bit dubious, to be honest, about buying a second-hand one, because, you know, people were saying like, I've got this one sat here, it might work and shit like that, so I was like, fuck it. So we've got this one from Mixed Garage. It's a Remy one, which I think is a US brand. It's meant to be decent. So what we're going to be changing is this alternator down here. Right, this should be easy enough to do, I reckon. Just need to get this heat shield off, get the air filter off, take the alternator cooling duct thing out, get the belt off, and then it's just 2 bolts that hold the actual alternator on, and then there's the 2 wires at the back as well. So it shouldn't be too difficult, but knowing me, let's find out. I guess I should do like an unboxing of the alternator, right? I've already opened it slightly, but I've not actually had a look at the unit yet. Always hard to do this one-handed. There she is. Brand spanker, not reconditioned, an actual brand spanker. Can you believe that? I thought it was worthwhile getting for like 150 quid or whatever. Especially because I read that this Remy brand was half decent. I think they're American. Does it say anywhere? Oh, remanufactured, you fucking cheeky bastards. I thought it was brand new. Never mind. Oh yeah, very clearly. So it is reconditioned, but as long as it works alright, I hope. Apparently it's an American brand, but let me know. I don't know. Apparently it's good, so hopefully it's good. Like I said, I didn't want to take the risk with buying a second-hand one, so hopefully it's alright. It's definitely an alternator. Alright, let's get the old one off. That should be attached better than that, but it's not. Ah. Right, belt off. Hopefully this is easy. I think it's easy. I think you just go down. I think you go down. We'll see. You remember what order the belt went on? Now, that was actually really easy, so the alternator's pretty much off already. I mean, I've only been going for like 10 minutes so far. So I've got the belt off obviously, and the 2 bolts that secure the alternator on there off as well. all I need to do now is kind of shimmy it out a little bit and try not to pull on these cables too much, because there's some cables plugged in the back, and I'll probably have to do that with two hands, but we'll have a go. Oh, there we go. So then the alternator's free, and I should be able to pivot it round, and then I can get to these cable bolts under here. Should be 13 and a 10, yes they are. Sound. So just these two and then the alternator's off. Right, there's just one thing that I've not done yet that I need to do. Oh no, what could it be? Safety first, Dan. You've not disconnected the battery. Correct, I've not. Let's do that. You know I'm all about the safeties. How do you like my anodized ratchet spanner, eh? These were a gift from Mick's Garage early on when we first started the sponsorship, and I really like them. Right, that's the battery off anyway. I never know whether to put the negative off or the positive off, but I've gone for the negative today. I forgot to put the gloves on. My hands are getting dirty. These nuts are easier to lose. These nuts. Is it too late on to be using that meme still? Whoa! Maybe. Right, so there we have old versus new. Certainly looks like I got the right one, so that's a good start. That looks a lot older and a lot more knackered, but it works fine, so that's going back on John's car, and this lovely piece will be going on mine. Decent. So I think I'm just going to go in reverse of what I did, Haynes manual spec, and they come with shiny new nuts, which is nice. Look at that, shiny. These nuts are so fiddly because of the plastic casing around them. You can't quite get your finger in.
That's what she said.
Not too tight on them, of course. Right, so that's it plumbed in. Try and get this cover back over the top. I'm going to go with the bottom bolt first, seems like it's the hardest to get to. Well, I just had my 16mm socket in my hand, and now it's vanished. It's gone. It's gone forever. Where the fuck is it? Well, that was all going a bit too smoothly. Just about had it all back together, and well, let me just show you this old alternator first, right? Straight away you can see what I'm going to be talking about here. If you look into here, I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's all threaded, and it goes into the nut, so that's where your bolt will start threading in and obviously pull it together. And if you come over here, it's going to be hard to show you because I've not taken it off yet, but basically on the new alternator it's not threaded at all, which is a bit shit. I mean, they probably could have given us maybe a longer bolt and a nut, you know, just... So I was winding away then, wondering why this bolt wasn't nipping up, and yeah, that's why. What a stupid fucking idea. Come to the old one, see the bolt goes in, and then obviously thread straight in, and then obviously nip the alternator on the bottom bracket. There we go, it's 8:10, so all the shops are closed, and I need to use this car tomorrow because we need to get some tyres fitted on the skid rims ready for Free Cities on Sunday. So I guess I'm going to have to put the old alternator back on and maybe fit that at the weekend when I get some bolts. Right, I just had a crazy idea, bit of alternator inception at the minute. There's the new one, there's one I brought off John. This is the one that actually failed, and as you can see this is a nice nut on the end. So I'm just looking at this now and I'm wondering if I can get that out of there. If like I get a big enough hammer and clout it, because I don't know what's going to happen to this one, to be honest. This alternator is like less than a year old, but the company that makes them specifically says don't use them on track days because they burn out or some shit, which is a fucking lame excuse. But so yeah, I don't think I'm going to get a warranty on this, so I might just try and battle that out. It looks like it might come out. Like it looks like you might be able to change it, and if you look at the same side on this one, that looks suspiciously like it could be persuaded out as well. So let's have a go. I've got limited tools here, as you know, at the flat. I've not got my toolbox from home, I've not got any of my big tools or anything, but I should have a hammer somewhere, I should hope. It's only gone and fucking worked. Like, I couldn't even find a hammer. I'm having to use this jacking tool I've got, which goes in the sills of the E36, which is fucking awesome, but I'm having to use this as a hammer. This is a bit haggard garage, but it seems to be working. I just screwed the bolt in and gave it a few taps and it seems to be coming out. It's not the cleanest way of doing it in the world, but I've not got a vice, I've not even got a hammer. But it seems to be working, look, it's pushing it out. So if I can get this one out, this is off the original one, remember, that's the B&W one. This is the original one that was on the car when I bought it. If I can knock this out, and then get the one off that one out as well, and somehow change them around, we might be in business. So, be right back. Well, look at that. Now if I give that one more tap. Oh, it's coming, it's coming. Oh, it's out. Sweet. So hopefully we can change this for the one that's on the new alternator and be good to go. Right, now I just need to figure out a way to get this one out of this side, and then hopefully the other one slides in. Hopefully. I feel like I can offset this bolt off just enough to knock this, whatever you'd call it, out. Shim? I want to say shim, I don't know if that's the right word. But I'm using my precision hammer, as you can see. That's how I go. Straight out. Right, so that's the original one off my old alternator, and that's the one off the new alternator. Don't need that, so let's see if this will go in. If I could get it to thread in, I could pull it through with the threads. So I just need to knock it enough to do that, but it's proving pretty tight. Right, I think I'm just going to have to be ghetto as fuck here, so cut to me, hopefully, having it done. Right, so I've managed to knock it in, or bodge it in, just enough to get the bolt to thread on, just slightly. So now I'm going to use the bolt to try and pull it all the way in. So fingers crossed this works. Haggard as fuck, ghetto garage, whatever, but if it works, it works. It's going in quite easy. I fear I may have made a mistake here and gone in a bit too much, but I think that's why the nut's on the back. I think that's why it has this nut on the back to stop you from going too much. So hopefully. So let's put it on the car and see if it works. See, I'm not all daft. Cunning up there. That was a fluke, complete fluke. But if it works, you know, it saves me going and buying the new bolt and fucking about. Hopefully. Just don't understand why they wouldn't put that in already. I found the long 16, so we're back in business. It's in the toolbox, would you believe? Right, that's back on, sound. Now just a belt. I can't remember what order this goes in, but I'm going to try and wing it. Well, I think the belt's back on right, but who knows. Just put the battery back on, then we can test it. Ready for sparks? Ooh, sparky. Right, now the test. So got the multimeter plugged in. This is Gav's multimeter, I think. Still got it, whatever. I'm using it. So in the minute, got 12.7 volts. Hopefully when we start the car up, that should rise to about 13.5, 14. So let's find out. First, let's double check that belt. Belt looks good, belt looks good. Now let's see if it's actually charging the battery. And it is! Look at that, 14.5. Well, 14.25, I was thinking it was minutes then, it's not, is it? 14.3 volts. So can you see that? Cool, so it works. Excelente. Right, so that was a bit of fun. I didn't think we were going to get that done tonight, but alternator's on and it's working, so that's the result. Bit frustrating along the way, but at least we got there in the end. I'm going to crack on, put everything back together, and yeah, it's getting pretty dark and pretty dismal. It's not started raining yet, but I think it's going to start any second, so I'm going to head inside. Well, after I've put all this away, of course. So if you enjoyed the video, look out for the next one. I'm going to be drifting at Three Sisters. I'm going to try something different for the next drift vlog because they're always about half an hour long. And I know a lot of you like them, but I know a lot of people don't even bother watching them, so I might try something different for the next one. I've not been to Three Sisters for a while though, so I'm looking forward to putting the new skills to use. Like, I say skills, you know, just the bravery really. All the confidence that I've got lately, doing the manges and stuff. There's a lot of areas at Three Sisters where you can use that. Well, there's two areas at least. but there's a lot more chance of stuffing it into the wall at 36s, I think. So Sunday could be quite interesting. But new alternator's on, it's working, thanks to Mick's Garage for sending it, and a bit of a... if you're curious about what's happening with the M3, nothing, it's just still there looking sick. Ta-da, car's back together, so get my dirty hands. I'm done, I'm going in. Good night, hope you enjoyed the video, me struggling. Always fun to watch, I know, for a lot of you, so great job. Right, time to go inside, goodbye.
These nuts. Got him!